Well, Drag and Drive comes out tomorrow, officially, even though we just had the playtest. I forgot all about it. It comes out tomorrow because the reviews are officially up. And yeah, they're not looking so hot right now. So if we go to Metacritic, right now, yeah, not so good. It's sitting at around a 62 on Metacritic. With some pretty bad reviews. Most of them seem to be around the 60s, 70s range, some dropping even lower than that. But there's two reviews that I'm going to talk about because really only two major companies have put up reviews for us to talk about, and that's IGN and Nintendo Life, and they both go into their experiences. Of course, I was able to play the game through that test footage in that demo, so I can share pretty much what I played as well and kind of give a verdict of what I thought, for at least with my initial playthrough, and what these critics also reviewed it as. So this is what Nintendo Life had to say about Drag and Drive. They stated that it's very little and light on customization. There's not much you can do outside of the colors and the things that you pretty much already saw in the demo. There's nothing else really. There's not many modes, and you can't play online with randoms if you're grouped with a friend. For instance, you and your friend can't play with other randoms online, again, which is something that Mario Kart World has a problem with as well. I don't know why Nintendo doesn't allow us to just party up with friends and play with randoms online, but still, you can't even do that in Drag and Drive. But they claim that there's more depth than you think, that they can see after a while that it would get very competitive once people master the controls, and that, yeah, there's a lot of tech involved, a lot of trickery and stuff that you can do. Now, they also talk about that there's missions that you can do outside of the actual court, and that these missions apparently are very, very difficult, saying to get the gold trophy on all these missions is actually going to cause you to be pretty much a master with the controls, which I actually really like stuff like this, and I wish that the game was more about these little quirky missions and stuff that you can do outside of just the basketball. Like, I wish there was like maybe obstacle courses and like, you know, stunts and daredevil tricks that you can do off ramps. I feel like it just being limited to basketball is what really hurt this game, but yeah, I'm actually kind of interested in the missions and trying to complete them and go for gold trophies. And Nintendo Life also talks about how it is kind of sometimes painful, where, you know, you'll get tired after a while and your arms will get sore, and it's definitely not a sport if you're not well active. So if you're not working out, I wouldn't really recommend this game for you, because apparently you get tired and winded pretty quick. I work out every single day, and I still got pretty tired playing this game. I was like, wow, that is a lot of exertion and energy for a video game. So yeah, it's not about just sitting there, you know, using a controller. You're actually using your arms the entire time. But yeah, Nintendo Life finished with a verdict of a 7 out of 10, which is one of the higher ones that I've seen. And they actually claim that the main reason that they scored it that low is the fact that there's not a lot to this game. That yes, it is only $20, but they wish that there were more modes and more customization and just more to the game. The game's just very light in content. It's the same arena that you'll play in every single game. So yeah, if there was more content and more to this game, then it would be ranked higher. But also, yeah, it's $20 though. So in a way, I really wish there was more content, but for $20, you can't really expect more than this. And then we have IGN, that definitely had more problems than Nintendo Life did. IGN states that it is just straight up drab in personality, and it's something that I noticed right away is that this game doesn't seem to have that Nintendo flair. It's boring characters with a boring basketball court, a boring surrounding inside this facility. There's just nothing that has that Nintendo charm about the game. Yes, we're playing a game where we're playing wheelchair basketball players, so like I guess that's definitely different. You know, that's something Nintendo for sure. But yeah, just the design and the, you know, entirety of the game just feels drab, gray, and just, you know, diminished of color. IGN also mentions how there's a very high skill ceiling as well, that they can see this game getting very competitive also. So it seems like according to most people, this game is going to get pretty tough depending on who you're playing with, and once that skill ceiling starts to raise and people start learning all the tech and stuff. So that's good to know. Like, there is going to be reason to play this game maybe a little longer than you previously thought you would play it, just to get better and just to see how the competition arises. IGN also talked about how they got tired very quickly when playing the game, and then they also talk about the challenges, but say they love the challenges, but there's not many of them. Once again, sounding like there should have just been a lot of other challenges and things to do outside of just basketball with these wheelchair movements, because I think moving the wheelchair around and, you know, just kind of going through obstacle courses is, once again, pretty fun. Like, it feels fun to move around and stuff. I just feel like the basketball doesn't always land. You just throw up shots, and sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. Most of the time they do. You grab the ball, rush for the hoop, no one can reach you, and you just throw the ball in. So yeah, I really do wish there was more of an emphasis on these mini games. But once again, IGN did say that there are not many of them, but they're fun and they do offer challenge. IGN played the game for about 10 hours, the reviewer did, that is, and he doesn't really want to come back. He says he finds himself wanting to go to other online multiplayer-focused games, like something like Mario Kart World or even Splatoon, compared to sticking around with this game. And 10 hours isn't a very long time. For $20, sure, I guess, maybe. I still don't know if it's that long of a time for $20, but yeah, and like I said, after 10 hours, he's pretty much tired of the game, which I can see a lot of people going through, especially if there's only one court, no customizations, no things to unlock. It's just like, why would you stick around? But once again, yes, IGN does state there's little customization, the same courts, very generic, but has fun gameplay. And that's the thing. It seems like this idea lands with a lot of people, that the gameplay is fun and that there is fun to be had, but there's not much to do with that core gameplay mechanic in mind. Like, you have these wheelchairs and you can move around and play basketball, but outside of that, there's not much else you can do as far as customizations, unlocks, other modes. It's just very bare bones. IG ended up giving the game a 6 out of 10 compared to Nintendo Life's 7. So where do I stand on the game? Well, like I said, I only played the demo. I haven't gotten to play any of the missions and stuff like that, but outside of the missions, it sounds like what we played was the full game. We just couldn't play the missions. So from what I played of the full game, it's okay, you know what I mean? It's nothing spectacular to me. I found it incredibly easy to score. Lots of people don't even, utilize their team or pass the ball that much. It's just kind of grab the ball, rush down the court, score, over, rinse and repeat. So yes, a lot of people, like, I've read a lot of your comments saying that the game probably is going to have more skill involved as, later time comes around, and we get familiar with the game. But are people going to stay long enough for that to even happen? Like, how many people are going to stay so that way we see the full competitiveness of Drag and Drive? I feel like as soon as Kirby and the Forgotten Land and its DLC comes out, people are going to slowly start to forget about this game, especially as some of these big holiday titles start to come out, Nintendo's next Direct. People are just going to move away from this game and act like it never even happened. And I'll be completely honest with you. I actually decided to download the Switch 2 Welcome Tour game, giving it a try the other day. And I actually had more fun with that game than I did the demo of Drag and Drive, and I'm not kidding. I thought it was kind of fun to learn about the Switch 2 and also to play a bunch of mini games, because there's a lot of mini games and tech demos in there, and it's only $10. I feel like there was more stuff in that game than there was in Drag and Drive. So I don't know. There's things that I got to talk about. There's things that I still want to go over with you guys. But overall, my first impressions of the game is just probably around the same, around a 5 or a 6 for me. But I won't know until I play the full game, learn the full meta, and see what the game has in store for me. But let me know in the comments down below. Did you enjoy the demo? Are you going to be picking up the full game when it releases tomorrow for $20? Or are you going to be skipping out on it and waiting for something else like Kirby and the Forgotten Land later on this month? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Drag and Drive, maybe. We'll see if I cover it. But Nintendo in general. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you all have a blessed day, and see you in the next one. See you guys.